Alright YouTubes, how are you doing? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm just going to show you the painting on this little Toyota Aygo. So we've done the repair. It was nothing major, so there's a repair on this quarter panel with a crease through here and a scuff on the bumper corner, bit scratched, a little bit, tiny bit of filler work, and then painting the bumper as well. So Reese has done this job, so he's done the repair and the strip and the preparation, so it's all ready to go. So I'm going to show you the painting in this video, but I'm just going to go through what I do with colour matching on this video. So what I do with this Spectro and how I approach it now I've got a Spectro, because I haven't had it for that long. And I'll show you what I do on most jobs, and it seems to work well and we're getting good results. And I'll sort of talk you through what other options there are as well with colour identification and using a Spectro. You know, you could just put the camera on a job and then go to the system, see what, you know, do a scan across the whole system and see how well it matches and find the best match. But sometimes that doesn't always work out right like that. It's always good to try and keep it to the colour manufacturer. Not so much on the straight colours, but on the effect colours, so metallics and pearls and stuff. So I'll show you what I do anyway, my procedure of what I do. So you're on the head cam, so I'm going to put you on the head cam and talk you through what I do. Just bear with me a sec. Right, so hopefully you can see. So what I do now, so that we're going edge to edge with this colour. It's straight white. So I get the colour code, and on this Toyota, the colour code is there. So it's 068. So what I do now is, obviously the panel I'm going to be going edge to edge to is this. So I'll polish a bit up. So I've got just got a little mini head on a drill, nothing fancy, just a little buff head. And I keep this in the mixing room, so I keep the drill and the little buff head and a little bottle of medium polish. And what I normally do is just polish a bit by hand first to get off any dirt. So I'll take the image from here, because it's sort of a flattish bit to put the camera on. So I'll polish a little bit by hand just to take any grime and that off. And then I'll just put a little bit on this buff head. It does help with getting the bit your Spectro in really polished. It's good to find a place that's got no marks and you get the scratching out. It definitely helps to get a really good, clean, polished part of the panel that you're going to Spectro. So you've got nothing, especially on effect colours, so you've got no scratching that's going to sort of throw the camera off a little bit, I suppose. Try and get it as clean and as scratch free as possible. And then obviously I take the Spectro out. The cameras are great, but they're not good for identifying metallic sizes. So sometimes you have to try and work. That's why it's good to stick with the try and cross-reference it against the code, because then you know the formulations that have been put on the system should have the right size metallic and the right pearls in it, so it gives you a good place to start. So quite often now I won't go to colour chips first, I'll Spectro. There's loads of times you come across a panel you're painting next to is going to be already painted anyway. But yeah, so instead of getting the colour chips, what I do now is I'll Spectro it. So new job, hold it near it while it's just setting, and then make sure all the lights are green, take 3 images, got 5 dots, which means it's took a good image. On the effect colour, sometimes if I will rotate it a little bit, but sometimes it will affect how well it's recorded it. But it's okay on straight colour. So that's recorded that now. And then all I'll do is I'll put the manufacturer and the colour code in. It was 068, I think. Yeah, 068. So I'll save that as that. Then I'll go to the system. And apologies for the state of my mixing bench. It will get done one day. So hopefully you can see that. It's hard for me to tell what the camera angle's like if I put it up a bit. Right, so now the Spectro's connected. I'll go to Spectro, load data. So there it is there at the top. So I'll pick solid. It's a solid colour, not an effect. And I'll be doing this in water-based, this job. So WBC, and then I'll just put in Toyota. So the first thing I do is just see what it finds under Toyota from that image. Quite often it will find the colour code as the top one. Sometimes it doesn't. There are a lot of different ways you can go round Spectro in a car, and depending on what colour issues you're having, you will go other ways with it. But it depends on your results as well, to be fair. Right, so now it's found it. So it has picked out, if you can see on there, it's picked out the closest one, which is 0.05, which is pretty close, is saying that's greener lighter, that variant, on Toyota 068, and it's saying greener light. So if you hover over it, if you look on this, my computer's not the best, so it's not got the best clarity of screen, but you can see the difference as I hover over different shades. The search result and the measurement, they change slightly. You can expand this view. So it's saying 0.05 for greener lighter shade, and if you look there, there's no color chip for that. They've got another greener lighter there, but that's a different color code there, and that's well, sort of close, but it's a different color code. So it's picking really them top two are both under the color code there, and then the other one's under the color code. If you look here, 068, these are all variants, standard shades 0.39. To be honest with you, if it's that close, I will probably do that. But what I do quite often, if it's around that, or it might, it might be not as close as that, I'll just do a little recalculate. So it's picked out the greener lighter, which is really handy, because I would have to go through the ones that I've got colour cards for and try and figure out which way that colour needs to go from the colour cards. So this is where the Spectro in this system becomes really handy, because it can pick the shades that are on there that I haven't got colour cards for. And it's not 100% accurate all the time. So look, if I do a recalculation of that, it will just tweak that formula for me now, just slightly, because there will be variations in cars from factory. So, it's not always a standard thing across the board, depending on models and stuff. So a recalculation has barely done anything. So it's brought it down. It was 0.05 against the image first off, and all the recalculations done, it's brought it down 0.04. So I can see what's been adjusted. So on a litre mix, the main ingredients, which is white, T900, it's 98.09. It's put less of that in, so it's brought that down to 97.82. That's a black, reduced black R951. That's added a little bit more black to it. So from 1.19 to 1.40, and then 180, which is like a yellow oxide, it's barely done anything. It's added a tiny little bit more on a litre mix, so not a lot at all. So with that being said, I'm just going to do the greener lighter shade. That's, you know, that's how the Spectros helped me out there. It's gone for that shade. It's pretty close. A recalculation's barely done anything, so I may as well just go for that shade. But if it was further out, that's what I would do. So I thought I'd give you a little explanation of what I do for colours to try and get them as close as I can. And then other options you would have, if you found, say this colour, it found this colour, but the shades that were on the system were quite far out, you know, they were like 1 something or anything above that, that's quite a lot out, that will really show. And a recalculation still doesn't bring it down close enough, then I would take the manufacturer out of the equation and just do a scan across the colour cards then. Then from whatever results I get from that, depending, if they were close, then I would go and check that colour card against the car to see what that would be like. If I weren't happy with that, or it wasn't close enough from what it found on the colour cards, I would then take out the colour cards and the manufacturer and just do a scan across the whole system, and it probably would find one closer. But then you've got the issue of not so much on solid colours. You could probably, you know, you could mix that formulation out from the system, which has no correspondent to manufacturer or colour cards. It's just formulations on the system. You could spray that out and check it, but you will have an issue when you come to effect with not knowing the coarseness of metallics or the type, you know, how much pearl is in there, because it won't really identify that. It's only identifying shade. So there is a risk of doing that. It always recommends to put the manufacturer in or pick from colour cards, because at least with a colour card you can see the size of the metallic and how much pearl shows through, and you can sort of look at that against the formula to know whether you're in the right place with it, really. You know, these are an aid. They're not a guarantee. Just stick the camera on, I'm going to get a good colour match. It's not how they work. You've got to sort of work. They guide you to the right place, and you have to use a combination of your sort of your knowledge of knowing what colours look like, what the ingredients are, and cross-referencing what you've took with what they're saying, cross-referencing it back to the car with how the metallic and everything looks. So yeah, thought I'd give you an explanation of what I do there for identifying colours. This one's pretty straightforward, being a straight colour. So that's the one I'm going to go for. So we'll see at the end. Hopefully it should match all right, but for how close it's saying that shade is, it's pretty good on straight colours. I'm just going to go for that greener lighter. I'm not going to bother looking at the other colour chips. It's not colour chip for that shade anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. So with that being said, I'm going to get the car masked up and we'll get painting it. Right, so now I'm going to get this Toyota masked up. Yeah, and I'll film what I do. So when the car gets in the booth, we've blown it all off outside. I always give it a water to grease before I start masking it, just to get off any dirt and dust, and to wipe the shut out as well for where I'm masking. And normally I have to go round some edges with a Scotch Brite. Reese does an amazing job for me. You know, the stuff he does for me is, I'm so pleased with the quality of his work, but he always misses edges. Every time I get a job in the booth, there's always a a shiny edge that he doesn't Scotch Brite. That's all he misses. That's the only fault I can find with his work, really, is and it's not even a fault. I shouldn't be bad mouthing him. I'm not bad mouthing him, but I don't know, he misses edges for some reason. So I normally have to give a little tickle with a Scotch Brite every time a job comes in here. That seems to be a standard thing. Bless him. Let's quick mask up on this. And I do soft edges. Just grab it. So I do a combination of, for speed and convenience. I don't like the edge that the soft edge foam leaves. So I do my own soft edge on 1 inch tape. Just get a nice, you do get a nicer edge. You're always going to get some sort of edge. I always find you've got to sort of try and crease your tape up a little bit because it will just curl away otherwise. It's not sticking very well in here. Sort of push it back on itself. So it sort of keeps it against the panel then when you push it back on itself. If you stretch it, it's just going to curl away. Sometimes it's hard not for it to curl away, but there's a little feature line here, so I'm just going to sort of do a blend onto that feature line instead of blowing into the sill. There's a little feature line there, so that's where I'm going to do a soft edge there and then just do a little puff a bit of lacquer and a bit of fade out down that bottom there. So you could just now fill this shut with paper, or you could fill it with 2 inch tape and then do the same on that door. But what I do next is I'll put this foam over the top of it then. So then it closes up the gap. It's always key to press this tape, this soft edge foam down, because it will just lift otherwise. Sort of squish the adhesive on the back, and then I just run some 2 inch tape down the edge of the door. I don't know if doing it this way is more cost effective. It's definitely a bit quicker than you know. And when you're closing off the gap with that foam, that's what the foam's good for, closing that gap off. It's another way you've reduced the risk of crap blowing into your job from a gap. And that's it, it's all closed off. I've got a neater soft edge from the tape than what I would have from the foam, and it's a bit quicker. And I'm just going to go on this inner edge, because it's not seen. And that's basically it for that little quarter panel. I'll sheet it up, put a hard edge there, then put a soft edge just above it where I'm going to do a little blend. And that'll be it. So I won't record the sheeting. That's enough for this bit. So I'll get it sheeted up, and then we'll get the paint mixed, and we'll get painting it. That's the Toyota Aygo all finished, and it's all come out well, so I'll give you a quick look. The colour's pretty decent, not too bad, edge to edge for white. Always going to be a slight variation, but no, it looks pretty good, to be fair. Quick look at the bumper, if it looks fine on that. So didn't have any issues with the job, and yeah, everything went well with it. Nice straightforward job. So yeah, we're happy with it, and I'm sure the customer will be happy with it. So again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate everyone watching, and yeah, really enjoying the journey that we're on with YouTube. It's really surprised me how much I enjoy it, to be honest with you. I was really nervous. I'm still nervous now a little bit when I'm in front of the camera, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The hard work, it is hard work, but it's enjoyable hard work, and yeah, it inspires me to try and do my job better, to try and show people, you know, what to do, and the, you know, everyone's got their own different ways of doing this job. None of them are right or, you know, are wrong or right. We've all got our own ways. The end results is what matters, and you know, I still learn, and I still, from watching other people on YouTube, I pick up tricks and different ways of doing things, and then I try them out as well, and they work sometimes, and yeah, so it's great for all of us, you know, all of us that are in this trade, to share what we do with each other, and it helps us all to get along, because sometimes there's things that you overlook and you don't think about changing maybe something that you do, and then you see someone else do something different, and it helps you out. So if I can help anyone out with the way I do things, and if people have got comments about the way that they do things, that'd be great. I love hearing people's feedback and comments, good or bad. It's all good. So anyway, that's enough waffling. That's this job finished. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one. Cheers.